Okay.
That's a great question.
Really
Oh my goodness. Check this out.
Oh, I love to dance. I still do.
Bring it down. Bring it down.
I'm enjoying my 60s. There have been a little bumps in the road.
I am enjoying my 20s so far. It has been a bumpy and fun ride.
I really enjoy my 20s. So much time that I have to develop and grow myself into becoming the person that I want to become.
30 years old was the year that I really became present in the universe as an adult.
The first thing I did when I turned 30 was take a solo backpacking trip around Europe.
I have great fun getting the respect given to an elder.
It's been pretty good. I am taken more seriously, that's for sure.
I feel my body more than I used to.
You start to break down, you think you're the bionic man. You get up, you put your eyes on, you put your ears on, you put your ankles on.
I think my 70s is the best because I don't have to go to work every day. I have leisure time to pursue exactly what I want to do. And it's just great. It's the best decade I've ever had.
I think the thing that most people misunderstand about millennials is that we are an entitled generation.
I mean, I would say that we're not. I feel like this is the era of like self-identification, self-love, self-care.
The economy is not what it was back when boomers were around. So they have this misconception that, oh, we're not working hard enough because we don't all have homes.
When you say millennials, I think annoying. I think millennials are kind of annoying because they're me 20 years ago.
They don't own a house and they're not married. And they seem to have a lot of debt.
A lot of my friends are working 2-3 jobs to pay for rent, and they're still living with roommates.
I think of them as being very self-reliant, very energetic. They are definitely tuned into computers and cell phones and laptops.
They look at millennials and think, oh, you know, everything came easy to you. You don't understand hard work.
I think my generation is filled with some of the hardest working people like in history. Just because the work has changed doesn't mean that we are not hard workers.
We seem to not be so much part of the equation, and yet we tend to own most of the businesses right now.
I think most people misunderstand Generation X as angry. And I don't think we're angry. I think that we're defiant. We weren't angry about anything that happened in the 80s. We just don't want to be like that.
I think a lot of younger people believe that once you hit a certain age, it's over. You're old.
You assume a lot. You look at me and think, oh, she's Mary Poppins. You don't know that I come from, Englewood. Snoop Dogg is my favorite artist, and, So I think you're pigeonholed.
They think that we are not able to do anything. We're not able to take care of ourselves. And they're always surprised when they see that the opposite is true.
I would go back to my 30s. I loved how I felt in my 30s. I loved how I looked in my 30s. I just wish my mindset was a little different because you're worried about so many things that aren't. You look back and you go, really? Come on.
My college years in my 20s because one, it was so much fun. But number two, I made a lot of mistakes, a lot of things that I think I probably would have done differently. But at the same point in time, I can't regret it because I had a lot of fun and I learned a lot.
Well, I was pretty stupid when I was younger, so I mean, if I could go back then and knew what I know now, then I would go back to like 15.
I would definitely choose 15 years old. I had just joined the dance team and I was like making more friends. I had a cute boy that I liked, and I was just coming into myself as like a young adult.
15. I went to a special high school in New York for science, and I ended up, strangely enough, winning the New York City Science Fair through doing a film of the dissection, a Technicolor film of the dissection of a giant poisonous toad. I mean, isn't that bizarre? And all the judges came by and they said, this is the grossest thing we've ever seen. And they remembered it. And they said, okay, you got the prize.
I would go to 32. And I think that's because the youth element is fading and you're moving really into adulthood, but a lot of the heaviness of adulthood hasn't come yet.
Like a small child, like 4 or 5 years old, you don't have the self-doubt. You don't have a voice inside your head like, oh, this is not practical or this is not worthwhile. Like, you just do what makes you happy. If that's running and jumping off the couch, or if that's like running out in the rain without your shoes on, like whatever happens in the moment just happens. And when you're that age, you're just spontaneous and you're just living life to live life. And so I would love to do that again.
All right, it was great.
Like, come on, right?
Nice, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.